listen, oh my god, the day is finally here. Lady Gaga's Mayhem is out, and I actually have the Target exclusive, which has an alternate cover. If I'm being honest, I actually like the original cover better, but that's okay. And a bonus track, which is why I got this one. There's also a vinyl edition. There's also the gray edition that I think you can only buy from her website. My friend Tina bought that one. I ordered the vinyl, but it's not going to be here till next week. But this I have in my hands today, and I'm very excited about it. Although, at least one other bonus track, in addition to this one, has shown up on YouTube, so I can still hear it in the meantime and commentate on it. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this and show what all is in the booklet, if anything. So, given these are just stickers, I don't feel a need to keep the hype stickers for this, but I know, some people will give shit for that. I really don't care. If they were like the more vinyl-y type of stickers like the Ringo Starr Look Up album had, where I could take it off of the cellophane and stick it on the case, I would do that. But this is not like that. These are just normal ones, and that's fine. So, ASMR. Okay. Anyways, the bonus song here, they didn't put it at the end. They stuck it smack in the middle. So, on the Target version, track 11, Kill for Love, is the bonus track. There's 15 tracks, though, so it's like right in the middle. I'm like, huh, that's a different way of doing that. But then the other bonus track is Can't Stop the High. So if there's more bonus tracks than those, let me know down below. I will track them down. Ooh, okay, so the CD itself, boy, I'm lucky it didn't break, because it was not in the case tightly. I'm kind of shoving it down. So it's got that Mayhem logo on it, which is pretty cool. I do like that. And then, interesting looking back cover here for the booklet. I'm trying to get it out. So we've both got like the Lady Gaga and the Abracadabra font, as well as the track listings and the run times. So, oh, alright. Are these... I thought these were lyrics, but they are not. They are the song credits. Wow, alright, so here is all the song credits, by the way. I don't think anybody really wants me to read all of these off. Buy a copy if you want to see them that bad. However, the special thanks I will read. Monsters, for nearly 2 decades, we've known and loved each other. You've been with me and my music through so many twists and turns. Whether I'm writing about chaos of disease, witches casting spells in a nightclub, waking up as a zombie after being bitten on the dance floor, the strange way fame can feel like having a clone, or disappearing into pop oblivion with the person you love, you've always reminded me that I can be exactly who I want to be. Because when I looked out into the crowd, you were always exactly who you wanted to be. In all the ways we didn't know who we were back then, we've been finding ourselves together, and I think I'm still doing that with you. Thank you for being on this ride with me, no matter what. I'm truly, exceptionally, unspeakably grateful for that. My wish is that when you listen to these songs, you find a place to pour out all your negative thoughts and let the music carry you away from your own mayhem and into the mayhem of the music. I want to give special thanks to my love, Michael, for the beautiful work you poured into this album every single day for over a year and beyond. Your encouragement and love were constant, but you're also a completely brilliant creative partner, and I've always been a Renaissance woman, and I've often felt misunderstood anytime someone tried to put me in a box. I think we're so similar in that way. You can do anything. I've never seen anyone work as hard as you do. I don't think anyone in my life understands Mayhem the way you do. I love Mayhem with you. Thank you for making this album with me. Thank you to Andrew Watt and Circuit for their tireless work and endless talent. Thank you to Jess Saffelstein and Bruno Mars for sharing with me their artistry and for supporting me in mine. Thank you to Paul LaMalfa, Tyler Harris, Serban Gaina, Randy Merrill, Bobby Campbell, Lindsay Shane, Stacy Quinn, Sonia Guardo, Brian Lord, John Janik, Steve Berman, and the Interscope team. Thank you to Arthur Fogel and Live Nation. Thank you to Todd Torso and Mel Toy, or Roy. Well, monsters, here we are again, face to face. I made this for you. I love her so much! Oh my god! Okay, so we have the Lady Gaga Mayhem thing here. We have this awesome photo over here that I'm, like, really digging. It's like two that she snipped apart and then stuck together. And then we've got Gaga on that one. And these images, I believe, are from that gray version of the CD that has the other bonus track. And this is the back of the CD booklet. And then we have the cover. So, with that in mind, let us delve into the songs. So, first track on the album is Disease, and that was one of the singles that dropped before the album released. I think it was the second one, because I believe the first one that dropped was Die With A Smile, which is what closes out the album. But this one, I'll be honest, when I very first heard it, when the video dropped on first listen, it didn't hit for me, but by the second play, it was such a damn earworm, and it has been ever since for me. So I actually really love this one now. It's just a rare incidence of where first play didn't grab me, but every single one since then has. So this one kind of, I feel like, much like throughout this album, it does harken back to other eras and such. This one harkens back to the art pop era, in my opinion. You may disagree with me, that's what it sounds like to my ear, but I do like it a lot, actually. So track 2 on the album is Abracadabra, which we all know and love at this point, even though it was the most recent of the singles dropped. It was the one that dropped in the middle of the Grammys performance, so, you know, it was perfect freaking timing, and I've been obsessed with it ever since, and it seems like so has everybody else. It is far from just me on that one. So, oh my god. Pretty much everything I could say about that song I already did when I did my initial reaction video to it a few weeks ago, so just go back and find that video if you want like a more in-depth analysis of my thoughts on that particular song. But I mean, I do really like it, and it does harken back to a bunch of different Gaga eras, both in the video and just in style, and it's so damn good. Oh my god, just, Gaga is back! So the third track is Garden of Eden, which is like a genuinely new track to all of us, because that was not a single dropped early or anything. But oh my god, this one is like so perfect for like nightclubs and everything. This is a perfect song for that. And Gaga is acknowledging the crowd that she gained with her earlier albums and everything, and she is not leaving them out of things just because this is newer. No, this is a love letter back to that earlier stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I love it. And it's like a love letter back to a few earlier eras all in one, to where I'm like, I see what you're doing, and I appreciate it so freaking much. Oh my god. Okay, so the fourth track is Perfect Celebrity, and this one is like the perfect melding of pop, dance music, rock, but also with like a glimmer of maybe Kate Bush around the edges. As weird of a comparison as that is to make, just hear me out on this one. It's hard to put my finger on how to articulate that, but if you listen to it, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's a cool song, though. So the next track is Vanish Into You, which is like another really great poppy kind of not quite 80s sounding, but it's like right there on the cusp of it, which is a trend I noticed throughout the album, which I'm delighted by, having been born in 85 myself. And I think Gaga's only like a year or so younger than me, so she's also kind of right in there too. Where, yeah, that style of retro is very much back in vogue right now. So I understand why she's doing it. Miley Cyrus did a little bit too on her last album, so I get it. And Miley wasn't even around back then, so at least Gaga was. But oh my god, this one, the chord progression on this and the harmonizing is so beautiful. Like, I just have no words, but really, really like this one. So the next track in is called Killa. Not killer, Killa. And this one is kind of a funky guitar, kind of a sound on this, like a little bit 70s, a little bit 80s, like halfway between like Prince and also Oh, who can I compare it to from the 70s that had like a really good funky guitar sound? A little bit like David Bowie's Fame, kind of like that. Somewhere between those two sounds is about where the guitar on this sits. Now, the vocals on it are a little bit, it's not quite rap, not quite hip hop, but it's closer to that rhythmic style of like speak singing than it is to anything else, I feel like. And that's the best way I can word that. I don't know how else to put what I mean. So, I'm not sure what genre you would call it, per se, but still, it's very catchy. It's very much an earworm, and it's very much one of those, you look at the lyrics, it's like, oh, it's a dirty song, and I didn't even realize it was a dirty song till I looked at the lyrics. It's one of those, it sneaks up on you a little bit. So the next track in is Zombie Boy, which I've had multiple people message me today saying, oh my god, this is so 80s. And you know what, to my ear, no it's not. This is disco. And I am here for it. Oh my god, this is actually one of my favorite tracks on the entire album, if I'm being honest with you. And frankly, I feel this is strong enough to have been potentially one more single if they had gone that route. But maybe they didn't want to come up with a video for it or something. But oh my god, I freaking love this dang song like you would not believe. So the next song in is Love Drug, which... this one, it's okay. It's catchy enough. It's kind of halfway between, like, the rock pop sound again, more so to pop, but also a little bit 80s throwback again. Again, not a bad thing. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, this one, there's not a whole lot to say about this particular track. Like, if I were ranking the songs, I'd probably put this as a lower tier one of the ones in here. Most would all be fighting for the top spots. This one would be just by default lower, because something has to be lower, I suppose. But it's not a bad song, though. So the next track is called How Bad Do You Want Me? And this one is another one that even like the intro of it is so 80s, it sounds like it could have come straight out of Stranger Things. Which, again, not a bad thing at all. I, as a fellow 80s baby, am here for it. But this one is much catchier than the last one. I feel like part of it's, again, just that chord progression and the harmonies in it. It appeals to me more than the other. But that's just me. But this one, I don't know. It's hard to really describe what it's like. Like, either lyrics as well as the song itself, but I do like it, regardless. So the next track is called Don't Call Tonight, and again, another one similar vein and everything, but this one is closer to more like another one that would fit for the whole nightclub setting. This is really harkening back to earlier Gaga days where she was really writing a lot of dance music, and I love seeing it again because that was my favorite era of Gaga's stuff. So seeing it come back in such a big way like this, I am a very, very happy camper. So then the next track is called Shadow of a Man, and admittedly the first portion of the song I was kind of on, but as soon as it gets to the chorus, which then takes over the rest of the song, I absolutely love it. So it all of a sudden like gets much more frenetic energy going on with it, while at the same time still maintaining that dance music kind of a spirit to it. I'm just like, ooh, this one is actually a lot of fun once it actually gets into the meat and potatoes of the song. So the next track is called The Beast, and this one is the first one that I've kind of been... even with repeated listenings, I don't know what it is about this one. This one doesn't feel on the same par as like the entire rest of the album. It's not a bad song, per se, and even compared to certain things on other Gaga albums, depending what you put it up against, it could potentially rank quite well. But when up against the rest of this particular album, I don't know. Something about it just hits a little different, you know? So the next track in here is called Blade of Grass, and while this one is slower and more soulful, this I almost feel like could have fit in with the Joker 2 soundtrack or on the Harlequin album. It's very much got that kind of a vibe to it, which makes me love it, of course, that much more. But it is kind of cool to slow it down for a song or so, in contrast to the rest of the album. I mean, most albums have like a song or two at least that kind of slow things down, as long as they bring the energy back up after. But yeah, so this one's pretty good at that. Finally, the last track on the album, and yes, I do realize that I skipped over the bonus track. I'm gonna circle back to that. I wanted to do just the normal track listing first to judge the album by, and then take the bonus tracks for their own merit one by one after. But the last track is Die With a Smile, which is both my favorite song on the album by a country mile, but at this point I would venture a guess to say probably my favorite Gaga song, period, now, which, boy, it took a long time for the last one to get dethroned, but here we are, and I might even go so far as to say it might even be my favorite song, period, just in general right now. So, that is saying a lot. It's very retro in its style, it's very much a throwback to, like, oh goodness, I mean, the video gives one era, the style is another. It's almost like somewhere between 60s and 70s-esque with like love rock ballad, if that makes sense. And this is the one with Bruno Mars on it, in case you somehow missed that. But, oh my god, this song has like the most beautiful harmonizing I've possibly ever heard in my life, and just the lyrics and everything about it. When this song first dropped last year, and this was the first single from the album, it was so beautiful, it made me cry every single time I heard it for like the first month. I'm not even exaggerating. Dead serious. And it still chokes me up sometimes hearing it. Not in a bad way, but just because it's so beautiful. Oh my god, like I can't say enough good things about it. It's flawless in my opinion. So, with all that said, I think just the base album itself, without any bonus tracks, I would rate an 8.5 out of 10. That's pretty high praise. That's pretty high praise, I gotta admit. But again, I always am leery to include bonus tracks as part of the album scoring, because sometimes it's those bonus tracks that drop it down. So, when possible, I like to take them on their own merit. So that's what we're gonna do. So let me listen to those one at a time, and I'll give my thoughts on them as well. So I'm actually starting with the bonus track that's not from the CD that I've got. So this is from the other version of the CD, and I think possibly from the vinyl as well. And this is Can't Stop the High. And honestly, I think this should have been on the album. Maybe trade one of the weaker tracks for this one, because this one's pretty good. This is a bop. This is a total bop. I'm trying to think of which one I would swap for it, but like, I don't know, I would have to go back through and really think about that, but this one, it's a shame that it's only a bonus track and only on one version of it, so many people aren't even gonna know this exists. So hopefully this will be like it tends to be where Spotify is concerned, where after so and so many days, they eventually add the bonus tracks. I really hope that's going to be the case, because this is actually a pretty good song. If rating it on its own merit, out of a 5 scale, I'd probably give this one about a 4. And then the second of the bonus tracks, which is the one that came with the Target exclusive, is Kill for Love. And this song, I'm glad that I have the version that I do, because out of the 2 bonus tracks, I do like this one better. And to me, this one sounds like it could have been written and recorded at the same time as Zombie Boy. It's got a very similar vibe to it. It's that kind of disco style again. Parts of the vocals even remind me of it a lot, while not inherently being like a ripoff, but it's almost like a part 1, part 2 kind of thing. Not necessarily lyrically, but stylistically. So for this one, I'd probably give this one like probably 4.5 out of 5. I see why they didn't put both on the album just because they're so similar that it might be a little too samey, a little too confusing to where people mix them up. But as a bonus track, it's perfect. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the current new Gaga album, including the bonus tracks. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure you pick up this album, or at least check it out on streaming or something. Hit subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card for a month from the time of donating. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.